Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast. This is episode number 52. 52. It's me, your host, Chris. I am he who is that guy. And today I got a great episode for you guys. Just a quick shout out to my Twitter page for, if you want to know when episodes are coming out, you can always visit castingfor2.com or my Twitter page at castingfor2. But anyway, enough, I don't know why I even went there. Enough about that. So my guest today is one Mr. Aakomon Jones. He is a choreographer, and he's worked on movies like Pitch Perfect. In Dreamgirls, he worked on that, but more recently, he's worked on the movie Get On Up, which is a story about James Brown, which is in theaters right now. And I suggest you check it out, because after this, I'm going to go check out, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go check out the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And then I'm going to go check out Get On Up, okay? But it was great chatting with him. Like I said, I'm always interested in chatting with people of different jobs and, all of that. And so I had a fun time with him. And so let's just get into this episode, okay? So sit back, relax, and listen to me talk to really cool individual Aakomon. And Chris, cue the music, please. Hello.
Hi, it's Aakomon Jones. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good.
But what's going on with you,
good. Nothing much, man. Just doing a bit of traveling.
Right on. Where are you going?
I am headed to Miami, literally rushing to the airport, but just for a day.
Oh, okay. So where are you? Are you in the car to the airport, or?
I will be shortly.
Okay. So this is an action-packed interview then.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, that's good. What are you going to Miami for? Vacay or just business?
No, I'm going to take a meeting and then back to LA.
Oh, okay. Are you a fan of Miami?
Not terribly. I mean, Miami's nice, but not like the place that I'd love to vacay in or anything like that.
Where is that place?
Somewhere in the Caribbean or South Africa. I enjoyed. Maybe somewhere I haven't been.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
Anywhere I haven't been.
My favorite place to vacay is Canada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Canadian?
No, I'm not Canadian. No, I went to a school up there, to film school, so I have an appreciation for them Canucks. So.
Right. That's cool.
But this is Casting for Two podcast where we can talk about anything. If you at any point you guys got to go, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Because I when it comes to airport travel, I'm one of these people that 2 hours before, 3 hours, 4 hours doesn't matter. I hate missing flights.
You and me both, man.
Yeah. But so I'd like to get a little bit of your background. When I was telling my sister who I was going to interview, she got so excited when I mentioned some of the projects that you worked on. because Pitch Perfect was a huge thing in my family because that was the only way we can get my nephew, who was at the time 1 years old, to sit down and just be quiet. He would watch all the choreography, listen to the music. So
That's great.
Pitch Perfect has a special place in our heart.
Good, good. I'm glad.
But so how did you get into dancing and choreography?
I've always loved to dance. Um, I got into the actual business of it once I had moved to Atlanta, and some friends I was hanging out with, knew of different studios around town, rehearsal halls, and people who were in the business. So I kind of rode their tails, kind of piggybacked with them and got in. But I always loved to dance, sure.
Mm-hmm. And does that come from your parents, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's always music. There's always music in the house growing up.
What were some of the first things that you danced to? Was styles, I should say?
Anything I saw on TV, like different soul artists, James Brown, Michael Jackson, New Edition, Temptations, like all those cats, I would just try to mimic them. Mm-hmm. And then, going to family gatherings and functions, always seeing, my parents and cousins dancing around. So it was always, around,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, did you have a big Macarena phase like we all did?
No, I mean, everyone did the electric slide, like in black families, but I didn't have a personal favorite at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right on. Okay, so did you end up going to school to kind of forward your dance education, or learn different styles or
No,
anything? No.
no, never went to school.
Okay, okay.
No formal training, no dance classes, none of that.
Okay, okay. So how do you transition from dance to working, being a choreographer, working on movie sets?
Well, I just try to treat every job, as an isolated, duty or experience. Mm-hmm. And for one, they're very different unto themselves. And then I also don't want to bring the energy from one into the next as far as vibe or movement. I really want to give everything its own chance to.
And so
basically switching gears, just like that.
How hard is it to create different moves that haven't been seen by other people from project to project? It's kind of like like you've done something amazing, and then people are like, hey, dazzle me more. Do you get a lot of pressure, and B, how do you come up with something unique?
Well, I mean, the challenge in any artist is to reinvent themselves, but I try to come from a place of, creativity, not for the sake of being different than someone. That's the challenge when I'm making a business out of this. Everyone always says, well, we want something that's never been seen before,
right?
And just the most dynamic, amazing, never been seen before. And, I'm kind of numb to that because, you could show them something that was done yesterday, and if they hadn't seen it, then there goes their experience with it.
Right.
Okay. It never had it done. There's nothing new under the sun. But, there's different ways of packaging and, redoing something or being inspired by something else. And then you being an individual, your take on it becomes something original. And it really has to do with the context that's built around it. Michael Jackson thought moonwalking was the most original thing on the planet, when in fact it wasn't. But when you put the context around it being 1980, and it's Michael Jackson on the award show with shoes and, all that, then it becomes a new thing to a whole new, set of eyes. So, I just try to do things that I'll be proud of
Mm-hmm.
I try to push envelopes where it makes sense too, and I try to do what's appropriate given the context of the job.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's basically all you can do is go out there and give it your all, and hopefully it connects with people.
Yeah.
And so, is there one specific project that you really connected to?
Um, Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say. I mean, anytime I do a soul artist or something that's R&B or funk or soul driven, you know, I really connect to that because that's what I grew up listening to in the house. But it's not to say I enjoy it any more than doing a pop act or doing some commercial campaign that's not exactly in the same genre, or actually the furthest thing from it, actually. Or, when I deal with rock and roll, I don't like that any less. It just takes for me to dig a little deeper.
And so I'm very interested in how people actually get onto working with film sets. The auditioning process. Now, how is that for somebody doing choreography? Do you have like a reel of just moves, or is it just something that?
I have a reel of jobs that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times for me it's about relationships I have with different producers or directors or studios, like movie studios,
Mm-hmm.
and or record labels or managers or different things. Or if someone's just looking for a choreographer, they'll reach out to my agent, or they'll see something that I've done and be like, well, who did this, who did that, and then they'll look at my reel and they'll see is anything on there that speaks to what they're looking for, or is it just the body of work that they may be impressed with, that they feel like, hey, you should work with this guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. And so that transitions to Get On Up. Was it fun, kind of diving into something like James Brown's career is? It's pretty phenomenal, and yet there is a dance background. Was it kind of cool doing some research, kind of going back and seeing all the different moves you can do?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot to pull from,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd have to do a 3.5 hour movie full of music from top to bottom to even touch get beyond the surface,
Mm-hmm.
as far as vocabulary and just, sheer talent, and the amount of it was so vast that, it's trying to pack into an hour and a half movie, 2 hour movie, what represents, a whole man's career. And it was a long, extremely successful one. So, that's tough.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, for sure. What's the practice schedule like for something like that? Like, how long are you
It
working with the
varies.
actors?
It varies. It depends on, the stamina and the time frame. We only had roughly 30 days to work with Chadwick to get him to that point. So I started out with 2 hour rehearsals, and I moved to 3. And, that soon turned into 4.5, 6 hour rehearsals, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Now I was kind of looking because I'm they they send me some of the work you've done, and then I do some research as well. You worked on a little bit on Community.
Yeah.
Which episodes? Is it?
I did their Halloween episode.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm such a huge Community fan, and I love the show so
Nice.
much. Did you have a great time working on that, or was it horrible?
Absolutely. Like, dealing with those cats, like, it's fast paced for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's energy was really good. The director for that episode, was a friend of mine, so just to see him work and be in his element in a comedic, you know, venue, more or less, was really cool.
Hmm. Okay. Do you have any blah, blah. Do you have any passion projects that you'd like to work on?
Um, I know they had done the Sammy Davis Jr. story once
Hmm.
with Don Cheadle. He did a really good job. But if they ever do that for the silver screen, I'd like to be involved for sure.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Right on. Do you have a bad like audition story where you were just trying to get work and you went into a bad audition and it didn't go out so well?
Not really. I haven't had any, you know, really bad experiences per
Hmm.
se, like that I could single out. Like I've auditioned definitely a few times, and very rarely did I make it.
Hmm.
So I wasn't the guy who would go and audition and book every job. I definitely was the opposite.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Um, that those are pretty much all the questions I have. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about or bring up or anything like that?
Uh, no, man, you covered the whole gamut.
When people listen to this, they're gonna know everything about you.
Anything and everything that's interesting,
Oh, yeah. There you go.
if you can believe.
When you do have free time and aren't being, flying to Miami for days, what do you like to do to just chill?
You know, I'm easy breezy. I like to watch movies and have really great meals with good company and just chill. Like
Mhm.
I'm not a big, I need a ton of plans and a ton of things to do.
Okay, okay. And anything good you've seen besides Get On Up?
Ah, I last night I went and saw Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd like it with all the CGI because I know they went really heavy, but
Hmm.
I enjoyed it.
So are you Planet of the Apes purist?
No,
No. Okay.
no, not
Okay.
at all. Not at all. I enjoy a good movie and I enjoy a good story, but the premise of it is super cool to me, but I can't tell you that one accurately, you know, is the prequel to the last and the differences between and why this. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't even call myself that.
It's funny because I mean, yeah, I am the same. I'm not a. I mean, I didn't grow up with Planet of the Apes, so I can't really. I'm trying to connect A to B, and I'm missing some parts in between. So I've really only seen
Mm-hmm.
the last two and the Tim Burton one that they did.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, yeah. I think everyone remembers that one.
Of course. But
Um,
on a good day, I think I could try to. By the time this comes out on DVD, I think I may try to do a marathon of all of them and see what plot differences there are, and
mhm.
just try to get into it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I plan on doing the same because I'm just fascinated with the point where the apes stop using guns and when they start to really hate humans. Because I'm just confused at that part. I want to see that part, which yeah. But
Well, it makes perfect sense when you haven't seen it.
I yes, I've seen the last two. Yeah.
Oh, I think it makes perfect sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're sitting there. They have their way that they're not going to compromise, but they at the end of the day they have to protect themselves. And whereas the majority of apes, the majority of humans may want to coexist,
Hmm.
there's always those bad seeds, and
Yeah.
those seeds
Yeah.
like always find themselves in power. They always get the power. So there
That
you go.
yeah, I always just whenever I was watching the movie, I was like, really, Gary Oldman, you got to be the party pooper. You just don't want to let them. live their own
Well,
life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, we can't allow that.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need their land before too long. That's what we do. We consume and we take over. So at the end of the day, that's what we were going to do. We can't coexist. You can't have your way and we have ours. No, everyone needs to have our way. So I thought that was pretty well, depicted.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's been only a matter of time before they clashed.
I hope that in the new Planet of the Apes movie, there's a dance scene, and I hope you get hired for it. I want to see that happen.
Lord. Well, if so, I will do it in hopes that it is for good reason somehow. Somehow they write that in there where it makes sense.
There we go. I'm sure it'll make sense. It's a dream sequence. Everything makes sense in a dream sequence.
In a dream sequence, exactly. There it is.
So for the people at home who would like to follow you, where can they do that?
Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and it's my handle is just Aakomon, Aakomon.
Oh man, that is the best Twitter name. It's just your name. Boom, there you go.
Yeah.
No number after it. That's the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
But Aakomon, I've had a pleasure talking with you. One day, I hope you can show me some good dance moves to impress people.
Copy that.
Look. I'm not saying I'm square. I got the moves, but I think they could be better. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll check up on it and see where you're at. I'll assess.
All right.
Where you are.
All right. I just don't do the robot. I'm anti-robot for sure.
Got it. Got it. That'll be the last thing on the list.
Okay. Yeah.
If all else fails, we may have to, but we'll try a few others first.
All right. Sounds good. And you have a wonderful and safe flight. Okay.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. You too. Peace.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey guys, just a quick reminder, you can always catch up with these episodes on castingfor2.com. You can also follow me at Twitter @castingfor2 or send me an email at castingfor2@gmail.com.